What is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage. And here recently I talked about BYD. They've been seen at Auburn Hills, and not regular people, executives, chief financial officer, products officer in Auburn Hills. And then they saw them at Brampton in Canada. Well, now they've been to the Windsor plant. Now I know you're going to say, well, how do you know, TK? I got 7 emails, photos of the same 2 people in their little group chilling at the Windsor plant after looking at Brampton. And I know you guys are going to say, well, why is that, TK? Because I think Chrysler is rapidly going to get sold.
For the longest time, whoa, for the longest.
Yo, Percocet, Miley Percocet, Percocet, Miley Percocet, represent, gotta represent.
Welcome on back to TK's Garage, and in today's video, I'm out and about, and I just wanted to make this video and talk to you guys about what's going on, right? So, multiple employees from the Windsor plant emailed that these people from BYD were there, and there's rumblings, and other people that work security there that sent photos, and literally got this from 7 different individuals. And I'm like, damn. So they're not playing any games. Now, I've heard a lot of you guys in the comments that are saying, because this is what I like to do, I like for us to discuss this stuff in the comments, but I heard a lot of you guys saying, TK, they don't have the available cash to acquire Chrysler. They can't operate in the United States. I don't know if you know this or not or yet, but they already make buses in California. BYD does. So if they're already making buses in California, they're already operating here. They want to have a manufacturing footprint that evades that 100% tariff. Now, a lot of people have said a lot of things about BYD, and I am going to do a dedicated video about BYD directly, and one of their best-selling cars, the Seagull. It's an $11,000 EV with like a 200 and something mile range. I can tell you, if that was sold here in the U.S., people call it a extinction event. I don't think it would put auto manufacturers out of business here, but it would sure hurt their bottom lines. So there's a reason why BYD isn't here yet. Now, I understand about their quality and axles breaking and all this other crazy stuff. I get it. Okay, I'm not here promoting BYD at all. I'm just here to bring you guys the facts. And if they've already toured the building, the office space and everything around that in Auburn Hills, and they've already been to the Brampton plant to see like what retooling and what's going on there, and now they've just got spotted at the Windsor plant, they're not just doing that for shits and giggles, right? They're going there because they want to see what the assets are, to see if they can immediately spool up and start manufacturing vehicles in Canada. And oh yes, they are also, I had 2 emails, I haven't been able to verify those yet because they didn't have photos like the other people did, of these people at a plant in Mexico owned by Stellatis. Now, I don't think that plant would be sold, only because the Rams are manufactured there. More on that too in another story, as Stellantis is trying to skirt around the UAW contract. We'll get into that in another video. But the thing I found extremely interesting here is, people are saying, well, BYD can't buy them, right? There's no way. They can't afford it. They can't buy Chrysler and Dodge. Well, yes, they can. They have almost $90 billion in available cash. More available cash than Stellantis has right now. BYD does. One of their major investors, who did divest some of the company earlier in the quarter, earlier last quarter, Berkshire Hathaway, aka Warren Buffett, he just sold a significant portion of his Apple stock, not to buy something else. Berkshire Hathaway did that to liquidate, to be able to have cash. Now, I know you're going to say, well, why would that happen? And I'm going to do a more in-depth, we're going to go through charts and all that stuff, video on that. Because I think Berkshire Hathaway is trying to get a foothold and have the available cash between not just BYD, but an American investment company that can get BYD's foot in the door. And they're moving very fast because of the current political climate in the United States. And they want to try to get their foothold in and have manufacturing. You know, I don't think they'd actually be able to produce cars that fast, but they want to be able to get in and be able to have that manufacturing to be able to be ramped up. You already have the investment in, you already have all the licenses, you already have done everything that you need to do, so that no matter who wins in November when it comes to president, it won't matter because they're already going to have their foot in the door. And I see that happening. Could an administration put a stop to it? Sure. I mean, they can. A DOJ could break up Google right now if they wanted to. The DOJ could probably break up Facebook if they wanted to. You know, citing, you know, monopoly charges or whatever, right? It would be contested in court. It might take a few years, but they could definitely stop them if they wanted to. Either party, either candidate. Okay. So, but what I'm finding interesting here is I'm seeing the major players in the background making capital available. Warren Buffett doing it, being a big investor into BYD. BYD sending their executives to different Stellantis properties, and they're only coming out here to be like, is it worth us to buy it? That gets them around the 100% tariff, and even if it costs them more money and they have to deal with UAW or whatever to build these cars, they launched that Seagull here, that BYD Seagull on top of the other vehicles that they have. Man, and let me tell you, it's 11,000 in China, right? USD. So let's say they were selling it after extra costs or whatever. It ends up costing them, let's say 16,000, right? It would sell like hotcakes. They would sell the crap out of that car here. Even I don't even like it. I'm not even liking EVs like that, but they would sell the crap out of it. And if they wanted to be smart, which I think they are, this is the one thing that people don't understand about the communist Chinese, right? They're very politically astute. They're not dumb. If they're operating here in America, they're not going to do it. They want to manipulate the American public to want them there. And I know what people will say, there's no way that BYD would go back to making V8 engines. Really? You don't think they would? I bet you they would. I bet you they would drop a CUDA. They would bring back a Challenger. They would bring back a V8 option on that Charger like this. Why? Because they want the American public to be behind it. They would run those old commercials. You remember the ones that had, you know, the actor looking like George Washington with the Challenger, and they had the flags, the old Betsy Ross flags off the back of the Challenger going across the field at the Brits? Yeah, they'd run those They'd run those ads. They'd make the most American ads you've ever seen because they want people to buy them. They wouldn't call it a BYD. They'd call it a Dodge Neon. They'd call it a Dodge, you know, wasn't it the Dart that was the last Japanese imported Mitsubishi thing before the Dart came back? Like, maybe they call it an Omni. I don't know, but what I'm telling you is, I bet you it would be the Omni. It would be the Omni. I bet you it would be the Omni. They will do that. And they will use the American branding and push this as an American company because they don't want people to know that it's China. They're not politically stupid. And this is the one thing I think a lot of people underestimate the Chinese for. They want to get their foot in here because they know they can take the market over. GM is not going to be able to compete at those prices. Ford is not going to be able to compete at those prices. Elon Musk is hoping above all else that they don't get here. And here's the other thing. This is why, you know, we've heard the rumblings about, and you can see it in the comments, employees and stuff saying, hey, why are there Tesla people? You know, why is there Tesla people in Brampton? Why was there Tesla people at Auburn Hills? Don't get it twisted. Do not get it twisted. For a second, I can tell you for 100% certainty that if Elon knows for sure that BYD could get in the door and buy Chrysler and Dodge, Elon Musk would buy Chrysler and Dodge. just to keep it out of BYD's hand, because it would literally destroy Tesla here if they were able to push those cars here. 100%. I'm not saying Tesla will go out of business. I'm just saying it would significantly hurt their bottom line. And for them, you know, if he could just, even if he buys the brands and shelves them, like shuts down Dodge and Chrysler, even if he just buys the brands and puts them on the shelf, I could see it happening because he doesn't want BYD to get that foothold in the door. So don't get it twisted. The bidding war for Chrysler is coming. And there's already people doing their due diligence, BYD, in Canada and the United States, looking at the assets to make a decision. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Give this video a big thumbs up if you like what I do. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. If you work at the Windsor plant and you've seen the other stuff going on there as well, let me know. You can hit me in the comments. You know, we read all the comments, and you know, I'll get an email or something from you if I really have to, or there's something I need to follow up on. But that's going to do it for me, man. Thank you guys very much for watching. I truly appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys very soon on the next one.